And all that preparation, not weeks, but months, some cases a year, can just disappear because you know, they're not going to hold the competition back. You've got to go and deliver. So this is Santiago Martinez coming out for his first attempt on 170. So he's put the bar up a couple of kilos. So you saw him briefly in the warm-up room. And looking pretty solid, or pretty confident. Needs to stay on the platform, which he does, and that's 10 kilos better than last year in Sofia in his very first lift. So good start for Santi, as he's known to his mates. Born in Girona. Overall though, David, here on paper at least, it's a hard task for him to get into the medals. Unless,
but having said that, that's a personal best by 10 kilos, and he's still got 2 lifts to go. So
no, it's not a personal best. No, it's 10 kilos up on what he lifted last year. His PB is actually 175. Nonetheless, it was a very good start. And now Demyanov, the second of the Russians, second only in the sense that he's second to lift, comes from Kazan, where the national championships have been this year, and in that he snatched 175 kilos on his way to a total of 398. Only 20. This is his strength, the snatch. He's not so clever in the clean and jerk. Well, he won the Junior World Snatch Gold with 168 kilos last year. So, again...
Well, you say that, but he's posted a 210 opener.
Yeah, well, he got 223 in Kazan, but I'm saying that because he didn't total in the Junior World Championships. He blew all his clean and jerks, 204 and 205 twice. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. Maybe he has solved the problems and got the strength to go a lot further in the clean and jerk. We'll have to wait and see. So, Navarro. Just to emphasize at the moment that we still haven't got to the men from the B group. Yevgeny Bratan of Moldavia still leading at the moment with 175. It's Vladimir Batanovsky, the president of the European Federation, you saw there momentarily. Pretty happy with the way things have gone in this his home country.
Good speed, but needs to pull longer and higher.
Yeah. This is Cordidis getting ready for Greece. He's got one more go, Navarro. He has got 165, so he's got a score on the board. Just takes a little bit of pressure off him. Cordidis with some purpose coming out onto the stage now. He's already competed in the Olympic Games, competed for Greece in Athens. Host country, of course, always guaranteed places. They don't actually have to qualify for them, which is probably a mercy for Great Britain when it comes to 2012 in London. good. But still needs another 5 kilos to get to the B group, guys. Still Bratan of Moldavia leading with 175, the Lithuanian and the Belarus. That's Anushkeviciu and Hakavi respectively on 172, and they're ahead of the A group at the moment. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting, David, for 2012. I mean, Steve Cannon, who's working today in the hall here as the technical controller, he's the chief executive of British weightlifting, and you know, 6 years to go, less than that now, and an awful lot to do to find a credible team.
Well, like everything, it's about money and organisation.
Navarro, 170 for the third time.
Better effort. Straight arms, but
leaves him on 165. Just going back to the London situation, David, I mean, should we be thinking of doing something like a sort of weightlifting pop idol, that setting the specification and in terms of age and criteria, and saying, right, you know, people who aren't involved in weightlifting may be involved in other sports, and you know, actually seeing, you know, whether people would like to turn up, and those who think that they are prepared to dedicate themselves for 6 years. Do you think it's possible? You think it's possible in that way that we might find 1 or 2 people that could be trained specifically for that?
I don't know. I think maybe we've got to look at some of the people that we've already got. I'm not sure that you could take somebody from another sport or somebody who's done nothing and
well, what about someone who
get them to the Olympics in 6 years?
What happens if someone who's already using weights within their training?
Oh, it's possible.
This is Kasabiev, 171 kilos on the board. So he's ignored the failure at 167 and put the bar up nonetheless. Well, the junior world champion is putting himself under tremendous pressure.
Yeah, and he obviously believed that he could do that.
Which is fine.
To be honest, it was nowhere near.
No. And now, however tense he was feeling, it's even more acute now. So the bar sitting at 171, and I would think, David, he might well be coming out to follow himself. Just looking at that bonk their opponent.
Well, he's surely not going up.
No, well, that would be ridiculous. Well, it'll be a big disappointment if he does bomb out here. Still 1 minute and 45 seconds. Be interesting exercise though today, David, wouldn't it, in terms of the British team?
I think the athletes are there, and you know, they just need the incentive. I mean, most of the people that are lifting here have got full-time jobs, and they train maybe 3 or 4 times a week, and they're up against athletes. For example, this man, I'm sure he trains 9 times a week, and his job is weightlifting, and there's the difference. We've got the talent in the UK. There's absolutely no question about it. But to be the best in a sport takes more than talent. You need the right backup systems. You need the ability to focus just on training, because essentially weightlifting in Great Britain is amateurs against these people that are professionals.
Last chance.
Well, he almost pulled it out.
Yeah.
I was surprised he actually managed to get that close.
Well, there's a young man who came here with a lot of hope, a lot of promise really, at 18 years of age, the junior European champion, the world junior champion, and he's been found wanting. And there you can see the situation at the moment. Bratan from Moldavia from the B group, leading. Another B group competitor there, the Lithuanian. So 175 kilos, the target. So big cheer now for another junior world talent. This young man who got a silver medal overall 2 years ago for Poland. Weighed in at 93.65, so in the middle of the field in that respect. 172, had posted 170 as an opener, so presumably everything going well. Just have a quick look at the clock. Here's the buzzer. Well, that's right on his personal best. His personal best is actually 172.5, which he lifted in Minsk a couple of years ago. So that's good. Been weightlifting since 1997. So now there's an example, David. 1997, that's 8-9 years.
Well, they say it takes about 10 years for somebody to reach Olympic champion status.
So Kotidis, who hasn't put a foot wrong, but Kotidis of Greece, who's on 170 kilos, so this is for 172, 3 out of 3, but Yevgeny Bratan still leading the way.
Good man.
3 out of 3 for the junior world silver medalist. The junior world champion of last year has bitten the dust, but Kordidis, who was behind him, and considerably behind him in fact, Kordidis totaled up 365 in the junior worlds. Kasapiev, who's out in respect to the total, actually 375. So good lifting, and I think what really impresses me is that man, because he absolutely knows, doesn't he, David, how to bring his youngsters on, when to push, when to settle.
That's Kg.
Yeah, he must be close to 2 meters tall. Kg 223, you can see there the clean and jerk, and he's looking to start at 175, so he should be imminent. Now Bratan weighed in at 93 kilos 90, which is pretty close to the limit. Kg, well, he weighed in at 93.75, so if he does come out to take this and he succeeds, then he will go into the lead. Kleg's best ever snatch in competition, well, the Sydney Olympics, on his way to silver when he snatched 182.5 kilos. That same year he did 180 in winning the European title in Sofia, but he's had back problems. He's served a 2-year disqualification for anti-doping or doping misdemeanors. But he is at his best a real talent. Still only 24 years of age. New leader One thing for sure, David, with this audience in this hall, he won't need any motivation.
2-1. It's not the best I've seen him, but it's a lift on the board.
It's the first lift. Was the fail justified?
Well, I mean, it's this thing that we've been talking about. We talk about it every
this
European Championships. This press out rule. It's so difficult to referee. I mean, I thought it was okay, but.
So Kg of Poland leads the way. Bratan of Moldavia down a second, and Anushkeviciu of Lithuania in the bronze medal position. Kotidis of Greece at the moment in 4th place. He would have been 3rd, but he's heavier than the Lithuanian. So, and the B group men, their performance is holding up pretty well. Now, Martinez for Spain. 170, 5 kilo increase. Thought the first one looked very good, David.
Yes, 170 was no problem. Just had to take a couple of steps forward.
Now this is personal best territory here, equaling it. Good. Well, on my notes before the competition started, I'd sort of written a summary note saying hard task, but he's now making me rethink my assessment of the statistics, at least, because he looked very good on both of these. Quick, powerful, and doing the job well. Quite a lot of energy being generated, particularly when you drop the bar. But as we discussed the other day here, this stage actually underpinned with polystyrene to absorb the energy. So Demyanov, I do get the feeling that he's recently, or is still in the army, by the way that he marches across the stage.
Well, that was how the Germans managed to train full-time. They're all given positions in the army.
Same in Italy with the Carabinieri or the Forestali, who pay their wages, and they occasionally do a bit of guarding of the border. Determination has driven that up to give him a good lift on 176 kilos and give him the lead. Yeah, I can't quite imagine Her Majesty's Immigration Department actually employing weightlifters on a full-time basis without actually having to do any work. Or perhaps you could train down at Dover. But we need something like that, David. I mean, you're not wrong. You're absolutely right. You've been there. You know what it was like. You know what it was like when you were frustratingly finishing 4th in the Olympics and 4th in the world. And, you know, if you'd had perhaps some of the support you've been talking about, you might have converted that into titles. By the way, I'm not suggesting that you didn't try your hardest, because I know you did. Well, there is Steve Cannon in the background. He's the man who's got the responsibility on his shoulders in respect to British weightlifting. Now, Nikolai got to get this right, Patotsky, 22 years of age. Again, another man recently out of junior ranks, but given the performances of the Belarus men's team, David, maybe this man is going to be rather better than the paper marks suggest. So 177 for the lead on his opener. well, he's well capable of this. He did 184 kilos in the World Championships in Doha.
Yeah, just a bit of lack of concentration, I think.
Yeah,
I think you'll get that.
You can't chase around with that sort of weight on the bar. The wooden protection, saving a fate worse than death for the central referee. Just underlines that you could be sitting there doing your job and suddenly find a couple of 100 kilos flying towards you. Now, Bartolomé Bonk for Poland, second attempt.
They'd probably pay more attention if they removed those pieces of wood, though, wouldn't they?
Now there's a thought. This is for the lead.
And the audience might find it more entertaining as well.
Perhaps that's why they have a reserve referee. So 5 kilo increase. Can he do it?
Yes, he can.
Well, very good. Actually, I haven't spotted his partner. His partner's Barbara Sakroczynska from the Polish team, or formerly the Polish team. But that's very good. 177 kilos. Look at him, really striding off there with some good feeling. Goes ahead of Demjanov, Kolecki in third place now. So Poland first and third at this moment. Still a ways to go though. And of course, in the wings, Nizami Pashayev, David. Can't really ignore him, nor should we. The world champion, the European champion, snatched 185 kilos in Doha, and that was his second world championship. He previously won the title in 2002. So this man, as you said, has now got to apply full concentration to the task. 177.
Almost did it again, but just manages to hold on this time.
He's lighter, so he goes into the lead ahead of Bonk. So Potocki of Belarus, then Bonk of Poland, Demjanov of Russia, and Kolecki, still with 2 attempts to come. And Martinez with a final attempt as well. Now Martinez is heavier, so I wonder whether they might just put it up a kilo or so. No, is the answer to that question. Happy to continue his progression. 177 kilos for, let me just check this, it would be third place. So we move up from present 5th to 3rd.
And of course a new personal best.
Yeah, he seems to be a lifter who's maturing a little later than some. National Championships in February, he was competing in the 105 kilo class, so he's come back down to 94. Nothing particularly special in that, but he only snatched 168 kilos in the national, so definitely made progress. Ten seconds. Pity. Thought he might have got that. Thought he might have got the 3 out of 3 in the new mark, but not to be. So he stays where he is in 5th place. So 3 lifts to come from Pashayev, 2 from Kolecki, and then 1 each from Potocki, Bonk and Demjanov to decide who gets the individual snatch medals, but perhaps more importantly, who has the edge going into the second half, the clean and jerk. So Belarus, Potocki, Kolecki of Poland now, I think coming in at 179. The bar going to be increased to 179. Pashayev actually not posted to come in until the bar goes to 180. Twice junior world champion, twice European champion, twice, or I should say 3 times junior European champion. I remember when we first saw him, David, we thought, you know, what a talent, and if they pushed him too hard, he would run into troubles. We've not seen that much of him for one reason or another over the years. But is he a prospect? I guess he must be a prospect for Beijing.
Oh, for sure.
But that's the sort of lift you've got to make. So Kg left in 4th place at the moment. He has got one more attempt, but he's got a decision to make. Does he come out for the same weight, which arguably would be the right thing to do? This field is in a similar situation, isn't it, David, to the previous category, because you've got Pashayev waiting in the wings here. And if he lifts to his ability, then there's not much else any of these guys can do anything about it. But Pashayev's best is 185, so unless he's considerably better, and 179 would be a useful weight. It's the weight Bonk is going to take to try and regain the lead now. 2 good lifts. Can he get ahead of Patotsky?
Stop.
He's having a good day. One of 5 kids in the family, sisters Joanne and Caroline, and brothers Raphael and Dominic. And they'll be pretty pleased with Bartolomew's work at the moment. He's only 21. So definitely making progress. When you look at that, David, a couple of years ago, 172.5, so that's a big new mark for his personal best in the snatch, 179.
So you said the last result we had on him was nine years ago?
No, I'm saying 172.5 2 years ago in the Junior Worlds was his best mark. So he's now on 179. So that's his new personal best. Simon Kg, one of the few lifters around, David, who has got some personal sponsorship emblazoned on his vest there, which is good to see. So Kg really needs to do this, weighed in at 93.75. So if he could do this, it would take him up from 4th place into 2nd, just behind teammate Bonk. Well, he looked very relieved when he got the first one, but that's disappointing because it's just made the task harder. Although I suppose if we put into perspective the fact that he holds the European record, which is effectively the world record at 232 in the clean and jerk, he can come back, but is he in that sort of form? Has he got that sort of strength? Is he prepared for that sort of fight?
I think that's the question. Is he prepared for that sort of fight? Because he just seems doesn't seem as on fire as he has done in the past. It's his wife. in the audience there.
Yeah, Barbara Sakmaczynska. So, the appearance of the European and world champion Pashayev right on cue, 180 kilos, and this for the outright lead with his first attempt. So the man from Azerbaijan straight into the lead. And interesting, the different stature of these men. You were mentioning it last night. You know, you got Kolechki, who's nearly 2 meters. This guy, 170. So Pashayev leading at the moment from Bartolomew Bonk of Poland, with Patocki of Belarus in third place, and then Demyanov of Russia on 176, just a kilo behind Patocki. Both of those men have got a lift to come. So 3 lifts to go in this first half of the 94 kilo championship, and it's Demyanov going for 180, weighed in at 93.60, which means that he would go into silver medal position if he does this, behind Pashayev. And Bonk would drop down to the bronze medal position.
I think he's asking a lot here.
I thought he was going to do that for a moment. 5 kilos up on his personal best, but I really did think for a second there that he was going to pull that one off. What a pity. Well, he's got 176, which is a new personal best, but what a pity. So he stays down in 4th place. So effectively, well, I say effectively, here comes Patocki. Now he weighs 93.20, which is a fraction lighter than Pashayev. So were he to get this 180, he would actually go into the gold medal position for the snatch. But Pashayev, of course, has got 2 opportunities to reply. So the penultimate lift in the first half of the championship. Not to be. So Pashayev knows that he's got the gold medal. He's got 2 attempts to try and put some distance between himself and the rest of the field. As it is, he only leads by a kilo from Bonk of Poland. He's 3 ahead of Patocki, the man who just failed there, with Demyanov of Russia 4 behind, and Kolechki, well, at the moment only 5 kilos behind. And I think they'll all be hoping, David, that Pashayev runs into trouble. But that simply may not happen. World Championships, 185 kilos, that is his personal best, and he's going for 186 straight away.
His European record stands at 188, so should he do this, he's still got 1 lift left to make an attack on that record.
Well, that was very strong, very explosive. Needed a few steps to do it, but seemed delighted about that, almost as if that was the record, but it isn't the record. It is his own personal best, and of course lots of countries, David, have bonuses for, you know, improving your performance. So I sensed that there was a bit at stake here with that lift. Now the bar has gone to 188. Now 188 wouldn't break the record, it would have to go to 189, and I think it's worth a shout, don't you?
I think so, provided he feels he's far enough ahead. I mean, he's 11 kilos ahead of Kg and lighter, which means Kg's got 12 kilos to make up in the clean and jerk.
188 is the European and world record of Akakos Kakashvilis, the great Greek lifter who achieved, like Pyrrhos Dimos, 3 Olympic gold medals, but couldn't go further than that in Athens. But, hey, 3 Olympic gold medals, that's some achievement anyway. 189, predictably it's gone to a world record. Just underlining, David, the quality of lifting at these championships. It's been extremely good. We've already seen 1 world record today in the 85 kilo snatch. Andrei Rybakov of Belarus, 186 kilos. Seen a European total today, so this is very much lifting at a world class level. But I suppose 3 extra kilos wouldn't do any harm, would it? Because that would put him a full 10 kilos clear of his nearest pursuer. Bartolomew Bonk has secured the silver medal in the snatch for Poland and himself, and Potocki for Belarus, another rising junior, the bronze.
Pashayev, 189 kilos. Another attempt at a world record. This would be great. Really got to hang on. Doesn't waste any time. Oh.
Well, worth the effort. But you can't have a world record every time. As it is, he takes the gold with 186, but more importantly, has given himself a 7 kilo lead over Bartolomew Bonk of Poland, with Kgl down in 5th place, one of his greatest rivals today, 11 kilos off the pace, and as you said, with a disadvantage of body weight as well. So, first blood, so to speak, goes to Nizami Pashayev, the world and European champion. At 25, he's quite a performer, having won 2 world titles and the European title as well. And they'll have to go some to catch him. Catch him they may. Last year in the European, the clean and jerk was 210, and in the Worlds 216. So, as we said with Rybakov, David, earlier on in the 85 kilos, he may need all of that advantage. We'll just have to wait and see. But as it is,